Been a while since we've checked in on our old boy Crowder, Steven Crowder, that is. He famously debated Sam Cedar that one time, where well-renowned, well-respected internet icon Ethan Klein baited Steven Crowder into a debate with Sam Cedar. Better times those were. Rest in peace, old Ethan. We miss you. Please come back. Anyway, Steven Crowder. So we haven't checked in on him for a while. And last I heard, he had gotten divorced, lost most of his employees for harassment reasons, and is generally just, and also had some fallout with Ben Shapiro and everybody else at the Daily Wire, along with Candace Owens. So basically, he's like this weird conservative island, right? Like, he's essentially cut out everybody that is important to him or could be important to him or influential, and he is just like nobody now. Like, he has 32,000 views on this video, which, like, I'm sorry, for 1.27 million subscribers, that's crazy numbers. That's crazy low numbers. Like, people do not care about Steven Crowder anymore. But I do want to go over this video because I heard it was interesting. It was recommended by Guitar Rocker. Thank you very much. Based on Crowder reacts to old PSAs about dating, marriage, and family life. Let's take a look.
She must know how to cook.
And we all know how Steven Crowder feels about family life, right? Like, if your pregnant wife does not do what you want her to do, you beat her and threaten to take things away from her.
No food. She must know how to set her table attractively. To her husband, she must be a companion, a sweetheart, a wife, and a mother. She must stir.
Yeah, and I'm sorry, calling yourself based as like, I only do that ironically. I mean, I do think I'm based as it's not, I do think that, but like, also saying that is like, you don't just say that. You let other people call you based. You have to exude the basedness.
His ambition, pull him through failure, and keep success from hurting him.
You know what the problem is that you have with that? The word must. This one is a lot of fun, and you've heard me talk about this quite a bit, and now there's sort of been...
Wait, is he no, he's reacting, he's referring to, when he says based as fuck, I think he's referring to the old PSAs. So, fair enough.
These factions of what people refer to as red pill, and then of course you have feminists, and then you sort of have conservative, quasi-feminists, and it's just all so silly, it's all so tiresome. How about we go back to our roots? We dug up some old PSAs, and you may not realize this.
Where's his vest at? I notice he's missing his iconic vest. Where is it? Did he have to sell it? Oh no, he had to sell it. Or no, it was claimed by his wife. In divorce court. I don't know. Like, it's weird seeing him without the vest.
Of course, they're base, but they also provide some really useful tips. Now, I want you to take off the modern lens of feminism and understand that what you see here was the norm throughout all of human history up until about 1961. Here is how young men should and always have looked for the girl of their dreams.
I just want to point out that's an appeal to tradition, but also it's not true. Throughout society, throughout time, there have been different ways that women have been regarded and treated in society. People born female, what have you, regarded and treated in society. Like, for the most part, women have not had it well, historically speaking, but it varies, right? So, like, take Sparta, for instance. Like, women were seen as equals in that society. For the most part, if I recall correctly. Like, correct me if I'm wrong, but like, there are times and places where the dynamics between women and men were different than what we understand them to be now or in the recent past.
Do you choose a date? Whose company would you enjoy? Well, one thing you can consider is looks.
I might.
He thought of Janet and how good-looking she was.
Consider that.
He'd really have to reign to date somebody like her.
This announcer's like, I want to get with that one, yes. She's a spicy-looking one, that one. Oh, boy, was she spicy. He's, like, getting into it.
Yes, he'd enjoy that. Well, it's too bad Janice always acts so superior and bored. She'd make a fellow feel awkward and inferior.
Don't pick an uppity...
No!
Feel superior.
What the?
There's Betty. And yet,
Rocker.
it just doesn't seem as if she'd be much fun.
This is wild shit. I'm laughing, but not for the same reason that they are.
What about Anne?
She's
knows how to have a good
practicing.
time
Yeah, I'm ruling
and
out,
how to
you know
make
what?
the fellow-
Ew, she's eating fucking cotton candy, you freak. Disgusting. So is he, by the way. But he's bisexual, so he's probably imagining it for with both of them.
With her, relax, have fun too.
Let's lose our teeth together.
Yes,
Allegedly
that's what a boy
bisexual.
likes. He wants to know he's appreciated.
But she lacks a rack.
Anne would be fun on a date.
I
That's
hope
right.
she shaves.
That's why it's very...
Like, is it just me, or is it like when I look at women, right? Like, I'm attracted to women, very attracted to women of all kinds of shapes and sizes, right? When I look at women, though, like I don't notice if they don't have large breasts. I only notice if they have noticeably large breasts. You know what I mean? Like, I've never. Maybe it's just because I'm an ass guy. Like, I definitely notice when like women's asses are larger or smaller. Like, I look more at the ass. Maybe it's just because I'm an ass guy. But like, I just like when it comes to the breasts, I just don't like it doesn't stick out to me unless they're like noticeably large. You know what I mean? But also, like, it doesn't necessarily matter in the context of dating. Like, I just. Like, can you just talk to women, please, and be normal? Like, you don't have to be looking at their breasts. I'm just throwing that out there.
important to slowly chew your food to see if your potential mate sucks a mean... Oh. That's just... It's just so...
Brother,
Here's the thing. We
ew.
laugh at it, but it's basically... Yeah. Look, for the same reason now we're talking about... Hey, is it sexist for men to want a woman to be at home? They always have. She makes herself seem superior. What that means is just like the pronoun lady. Just quiet. It's not attractive to men.
Wait, some men find that very attractive. There's like a whole fetish for that. Like, not even just a fetish. It's just like finding dominant women attractive. Like, that's not a fetish. That's just a preference. Like, yeah, she's dominant. She likes to handcuff me, and I find that attractive. Like, that's totally fine. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that, guys, okay? To want that, there's nothing wrong with that. Shut up.
For the same reason that women find it attractive if a man is successful, right? There's the draw, there's the orbit of a successful. Men don't want you to tell them how much more accomplished you are because first off, you're likely not, and it puts us in an awkward situation where we have to...
Dude. Okay, let me tell you something. Like, this isn't the same thing exactly. It's not a one-to-one comparison, but like if you're talking about women being more accomplished than men, like my sister is technically more accomplished than I am in the field of medicine. She got her DO. Okay, so like she's a full doctor. She's so smart, and like I just could never measure up to her when it comes to medicine. Probably never. Like, but that's fine. Like, I don't sit here and gripe and moan. Like, this is literally the first time I've ever brought it up even. Like, it doesn't matter if, like, a woman is more accomplished than, quote-unquote, more accomplished than you. Like, I could say that I'm more accomplished than her in many ways. I have a much larger YouTube audience, of which she has zero. I have a lot of people who watch me and enjoy my stuff. Like, the idea of a woman being more accomplished than you is just an outcropping of not only sexism, but also just capitalism. Like, you've been conditioned to believe that like a woman who happens to make more money than you is somehow not desirable. Like, why not? She pulls in big dollary dues. That's good. That means you can provide for your kids. You know what the manly thing to do in that situation is? Suck it the up and let her provide for your goddamn kids. She loves your ass. That's good. The more money she makes, the better. Just because it's more than you doesn't necessarily mean that it's bad. Get over it.
To lie and act like we care. Now, we go
so
on
weird.
to more advice on how to be, and I know you're going to say this is sexist. It's not. How to be a good wife, and here's the funny thing. If you watch this...
Yeah, Steven Crowder knows how to be a good wife. When you're like 8.5 months pregnant, you got to be forced to give your dog the medicine that could be very damaging to your baby, right? And also like have only one car, even though I can afford as many as I want, because I specifically want to make sure that my wife doesn't go anywhere without my permission. Good stuff.
And if you just remove the modern sort of inclination to be offended, it's basically giving good life advice, and it's telling women to treat being a housewife like what? Oh, that's right. You say the most important job in the world. Treat it like a job.
She must know how to cook.
Pay it like a job, mother.
No food. She must know how to set her table attractively.
She must be a power
Know
forward.
how to make her home
Jesus.
comfortable.
Look at the size of this thing. That back.
She must know the worth of labor-saving device.
It's Fred
and
Gwynn.
how best to conserve her time and energy. She must know clothes.
What? Are they commenting on her? Wait, are they saying she's fat? Or tall?
Jesus. Look at the size of this thing. That
She
back.
must know the worth of labor-saving device.
It's Fred
and
Gwynn.
how best to conserve her time and energy. She must know clothes.
This is the most normal person I've ever seen. This is like woman the woman. Like this is stock imagery of woman. Like what? I don't understand.
How to buy and how to make them. She must face death to bring children into the world.
Oh my goodness. What? Minor chord
Raise
kicked in.
them, care for them, and pilot
Yeah,
them.
she does face death. Yeah, that's true. That part is true. Okay? You know what? This narrator doesn't... I don't always agree with this man, but he's spitting here. Yeah, you face death to bring a child in. That's what pregnancy is. That is probably, honestly, the best way I've ever heard pregnancy described. A woman or whomever, right? A person with a womb faces death to bring a child into the world. Yeah. Yeah, they do.
Them safely to the threshold of manhood and womanhood. To her husband, she must be a companion, a sweetheart, a wife, and a mother. She must stir his ambition.
It's kind of weird how, like, back in the day, they just kind of laid it out, you know? Like, it was more honest, if we're being real. Listen, I'm not saying return to tradition, but we should at least return to the tradition of honesty. Back then, those motherfuckers were honest. They were like, oh, your wife is misbehaving? Well, we'll just give her a lobotomy. That way that she can just, be brain dead. And, like, it was just honest. It was honest, you know? It wasn't good, but it was more honest than it is today.
Pull him through failure and keep success from hurting him.
What was I saying? Yeah, so it was more honest back then. Not to say that it was better, but like they were open about it. They were just like, "Oh yeah, like your wife is suffering from hysteria because she's not like submitting to your desires at all points in time." Like, yeah, she's broken. like these days it's like, "No, you don't understand. We actually care about women." These days they're like, "Oh no, this is for their own good." Back then they were like, "F the women. Like they're not people." It's more honest. It was more honest.
She must make social contact. She must widen her own horizon and find time for culture.
And what's funny is people watch it. Oh, you know what the problem? You know what the problem is that you have with that? The word must. The word must. Be honest. Comment below. Be honest. Anyone say,
What?
oh, why must she? Don't tell me what to do. Okay, great. Just like the man who leaves the house and goes to his job, he's told what to do all the time. It's basically saying, if it's the most important job, treat it like a job. Right? This isn't that. You know what? There's nothing with.
You know, it's funny that you can recognize that you're told what to do all the time and not question it. You just like go along with it. Good job, Steven.
Which I disagree there. Not a single. She must know food. If it's a job, yeah. She must make the table. Damn right. She must support her husband and be a good companion. What, are you trying to control me? Sure. Let's go with that.
Well, setting the table's also gotten a lot easier. That was a very fancy table setting that she was doing. And also, we don't need her to make clothes anymore.
No, I want her to make the
it's
table.
gotten simpler.
I want her to.
By the way, he like fired his whole crew or something, and these are like deadbeat comedians, I guess, that he hired to bring onto the show. Like, I've never seen these people before. I don't know who they are, and I don't really care. They look like they're wearing like the Halloween masks, if I'm being honest.
Physically
this
make
one
the
does.
table.
Well,
She seems like
In the garage.
Carpenter.
yeah, exactly. And facing death in childbirth is a much lower chance of that. It seems like things have gotten better.
But you know what, though?
If bearing children were a job, it would be in 6th place for all jobs when it comes to mortality rates. Did you know that? Just to run that out there.
Saying, just like the man must face
Above
death
police officers,
anytime
mind you.
something goes bump in the night. Like, that's part of the agreement. You got to face death, one time or back then, like 12 times when you had kids.
There were a lot of times.
I appreciate the honesty. This is the miracle of life, but you could be facing the great abyss.
Or a child's face.
It's just,
I know. We're not digging a hole and dropping a fetus in a ballpark.
it's
This
just.
is in 1840. You know, you got doctors and stuff. And
Yeah.
Epidermises.
And this is actually brings us to a good wife checklist from the 1950s. And it's so funny. If you read about this on Reddit, people are.
What the happened to this show, man? Like, listen, I'm not saying it was good, but it was watchable. Right? Like, this is unwatchable dog shit. No wonder you pull in, like, barely more views than I do. At, like, multiple times the subscribers. Like, this is abysmal, man. Holy shit. Yeah, what a down... I really did think that, like, you couldn't get lower than Steven Crowder, but here we are. And it's him, the man himself, Steven Crowder, who managed to succeed in bringing himself lower than he was. I did not think that was possible.
Upset. These are tips to wives. It says, be a little gay and a little more interesting for him. His boring day may need a lift.
True.
And one of your duties is to provide.
Men love gay women, by the way. Men love gay women, okay? Like a lot of them actually fetishize like lesbians. It's really disgusting. But like, yeah, it's like men. It's so funny because like they virtue signal about like men being gay, like I don't know. It's just a weird quirk of them, right? Like they love lesbians, but like, oh, you're a gay man, well, can't allow that. Like that's weird and gross and gross and stuff. I don't know.
Don't greet him with complaints and problems. A good wife always knows her place. And people are upset about this. You go back and you read it. It's like this idea that it's your primary duty to take care of the home if you're a homemaker. That's new. That's 1962 to now, really. Early 60s. Before that, it was just, of course, this wasn't even a conversation. Know your place and don't bombard him with complaints. Right. Back in the day, you think men would have tolerated it? Of course not. They were coming in, bringing in a wildebeest. Like, what? I got to deal with crap. I'm just going to leave you for the winter. Good luck.
Brother, what? Like, dude, do you not, like, understand how to do... He probably doesn't. I was going to say, do you not know how to do chores? Yeah, he probably doesn't. Like, dude, I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I'm the best housekeeper, okay? Like, I let things fester a little bit longer than I should, especially the litter boxes. Last time I cleaned them, they were abysmal. But, like, listen, I do my best. And, like, I feel like Steven Crowder does not do his best. I feel like now that he's divorced, his house is probably maybe not quite as bad as Asmongold, because that would be taking it a little far. But he can't be like, unless he's rich enough to hire a housekeeper, so maybe not. But if he didn't, oh my God, like he would be living in filth, dude. You cannot convince me otherwise. Like this man does not know how to do a chore to save his life.
That's also common sense. Like when my wife comes home from having the kids out or something like that, I don't immediately bombard her with anything that I've got going on. I'm like, hey, how you doing? How are the
You're
kids?
afraid of her.
Good. No, I'm not. It's just
I've come home before and like the first thing my wife does is like hit me with some shit that happened. Like it's fine. You know, like if something really up happened to you, you're not always going to greet your significant other with, "Hi, sweetie." Excuse me. "Hi, sweetie, how are you?" Like it's not authentic. Like, and I wouldn't want her to either. Why would you want her to do that? If she's got some shit going on, say, "Yeah, honey, let's talk about it. Let's fix this for you." My wife. Let's talk about what a real man does for his goddamn wife. Disgusting cretins. Oh, my wife doesn't bombard me with her problems. Well, then she doesn't trust you. Disgusting. She like tolerates you at best. Ugh. I just, how do you be Steven Crowder and talk about like how to have a good wife? Like we all know what you did, man. Shut the up.
You're leaving one environment and going to another one. When a guy is coming home from work, he's trying to get his mind off of work mode. Okay, get into family mode a little bit. That transition.
You're so like, dude, do it on the drive home. I'm sorry, like do it on the drive home. Okay, I have a 20-minute drive to and from work. 20 minutes, that's all it takes. Like that's it. 20 minutes of driving and my mind's off of work. Learn how to flip the switch, brother. Okay. That's a you problem. That's a skill issue, my man.
Transition takes some time. You don't walk in, bing,
beta male
get
shit
hit with stuff. It just doesn't work.
Actual beta shit.
Kids.
Let's say you have a choice, women, okay, or if you have a choice to provide some advice to young women, do you want them to listen to a professor? Do you want them to go on and learn how to be a girl boss? What's going to make them happier? Girl boss or that offensive old PSA? I would argue that's better. You know why? Because not a single guy ever. I'm just letting you know.
What is happening? This is so bad. Girl boss or sexism? I think there's some middle ground there, man. Like, we don't have to be Marvel Cinematic Universe girl bosses, okay? You can just have like a normal wife and a normal relationship, okay? Like, I'm married. It's great. We've been together for over 7 years, okay? Not as wife and husband, just in a relationship. And you know what? We've had our struggles, but we've made it, okay? And I'm doing great, and I love her, and she's everything to me, okay? We worked out our differences, and when we disagree on shit, we talk it over, you know? Like, learn how to be in a relationship before you go preaching to people about how to be in a relationship. Just, it's crazy, like, the cognitive dissonance occurring here.
And a single guy has ever had a conversation saying like, well, you know what? I think she's due for a promotion, so that really gets me. That gets me go. No one cares. They would prefer nice and to be a team, a partnership. And of course, this extends.
She's got to be nice
who
to
could
me.
Ever forget dinner time etiquette.
These boys greet their dad as though they are genuinely glad to see him, as though they had really missed being away from him during the day and are anxious to talk to him. This is the
Okay, so my assumption there would be they authentically love this guy because he's a good dad, right?
time for pleasant discussion in a thoroughly relaxed mood. They don't pick this time of the day to spring unpleasant surprises on Dad. If they have disagreeable news, they'll postpone the discussion until another time.
This is so disgusting, man. Disgusting. Like, dude, how can you claim to be the party that's trying to protect children while being like, oh, by the way, like, children should wait until, like, their dad has had enough me time, you know, like personal me time, a mental health break, if you will, before they trauma dump on him. My children trauma dumped on me today when I got home from work, and it was really bad for me. Like, this is actual liberal shit. It's crazy. If you're a child, don't trauma dump on your dad. That's up.
And this is no time to dun father for a raise in your allowance, new clothes, or argue about other financial matters.
What?
Napkins on the lap.
He wants to come out to Dad.
Watch this.
They converse pleasantly while Dad serves.
Here comes
pleasantly, for that
they had nothing to say about that, by the way. They're like endorsing that, okay? I'm gonna say I'm not being charitable. They're endorsing that.
Note at dinner time. It is not only good manners, but good sense.
all good advice. All good
See,
advice.
they're endorsing it.
Unemotional conversation helps digestion.
We know that.
Don't monopolize the conversation and go on and on without.
Oh my God.
Hold on, sorry.
All good advice.
Pleasant, unemotional conversation helps digestion.
We know that.
Don't monopolize the conversation and go on and on without.
Oh my God.
Destroys the charm of a meal more quickly.
Shut up, Judy.
To say that the rest of the group is bored.
They're not disagreeing. They just think it's fun. Like, they agree with this. They just think it's funny because, like, this is what they want to be allowed to say. It's literally like when Goldie Roger was like, I was born in the wrong time. Like, these guys have seen, like, this is their One Piece, which is very sad if you think about it.
Would be a gross understatement.
That's why I don't like ladies.
Does that kid have two daddies?
Look, they're all
Am I acting this wrong?
Casting was weird. Yeah.
Don't try and make everyone else fake like they're interested in your bullshit. It's funny, they show a girl at the table. Here's the thing. Let's also put this in perspective. The same people who find that offensive are the same people on the pop psychology couch all over social media calling everyone a narcissist. What that's really saying is, don't be a narcissist and make it all about you at the table.
Yeah, and they're directing that at specifically the woman. Interesting. Why don't they tell the man not to be a narcissist? I'm just saying, like, listen, they never said anything about the dad, like, caring at all about, like, the plight of the kids or the wife in this situation. Like, it's literally all about him. It's like, oh, well, father had a bad day at work, and so the children should be mindful of that and respect his space and personal fifis. They should not hurt his fifis with their problems, even if they got punched by a child at school. That is a discussion that can wait for later, even though it is traumatizing, and now you have nightmares. Like, it's just, like, all about dad. This is patriarchy at work. Like, I don't know how you could better understand what patriarchy is. This is just how shit was, mind you. Like everything was about dad and dad's feelings and dad's king of the house and dad makes the decisions, blah, 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 blah. Oh, dad's abusing one of the kids. Well, that's dad for you. Like, it's disgusting. And that's the era that these people, these freaks, want to return to. Disgusting. They think it's funny. They think it's funny.
Judy, you ungrateful bitch.
See, they think it's funny.
Though at the beginning when they're on the couch, it looked like two dads.
The casting was all wrong.
Yeah, the one son is a little bit older.
Yeah.
That's a son.
Yeah, exactly.
Like 15 years older than his brother.
But you know what? Though,
Looked like a woman too.
He's 15 years older than his brother.
A lot of people go like, oh, so they're afraid of the dad. No. You know why those kids are talking to their dad that way? Because back then, just like they talked about teammate, right? Both people have roles. Bet you the mom wasn't trashing the dad and complaining about the dad of the kids. The mom's role was to make sure that the kids respected the dad, or if they had to, fear.
Dude. First of all, I want to get back to the fear thing. But second of all, if your wife is trashing you, maybe you should figure out why. You know? Like, I can't imagine. Okay, I know Katie. When Katie has a problem with me, she talks to me about it. Okay? Like, and that does not happen often, mind you. But when it does, she talks about it. Okay? Like, we discuss, we have communication skills. I just can't imagine a universe where my wife is going behind my back and trash talking me to my children. Like, is that a problem that you face? This is alien to me. She just wouldn't do that. I have complete confidence that my wife would never do that. And if you don't have that confidence in your wife, you're married to the wrong person. Is this not just common sense? That's crazy to me. That's because the dad was trashing the mom and having an affair while the mom was going through drugged up depressive episodes. Yeah, that's pretty true. Family values, by the way. Good point. Me and my fiance somehow have better communication skills than some in-person couples I've met. We have the Pacific Ocean separating us. Yeah, it's crazy. Like even people that I like and respect have like had weird issues that I just don't understand. Like completely normal people, like that they're not like I like them. They agree with me on many things. They're my friends. But like I've also seen them just have these weird struggles that I don't get. It's just communication. Just talk to each other. Like I don't get it. Like me and Katie don't fight. We don't fight. I literally do not fight with Katie. Like the last time I remember is like me and Katie were having a disagreement over this is a little graphic, but like we were having a disagreement because there was a Palestinian, a person who was pro-Palestine who was basically depriving themselves of medication in protest of what Israel is doing, right? And in my mind, I was like, that's a stupid thing to do. You really shouldn't do that. You shouldn't, it doesn't do anything for the cause. Like, you're not effectuating any change. And so my thought process was, this person should not be doing this. So I disagreed with it. And then Katie was like, well, Alec, like, you have to understand what's going on over there is unimaginable, you know? Like, I can understand why this response would be driven out of some people to like want to end their own lives over it. You know, that's just how bad it is. You know, and we went back and forth about it, and then like eventually she pulled me over. I was like, you know what, you're right. Like if this person tragically dies, then he is a casualty of the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. Or I should say the Israeli invasion of Palestine. But anyway, my point in bringing this up is like, that's the last time I remember having a disagreement with Katie. And like, we just talk, we just communicate. It's not fighting. I don't fight with my wife. I don't even really argue with my wife. Not really. I just don't get it. Like, why do people have all of these problems in their relationships? Why are you with that person? If your wife is trashing you to your children, you're married to the wrong person.
Not the dad of the kids. The mom's role was to make sure that the kids respected the dad, or if they had to, fear the dad. They wouldn't even dream of screw you, dad.
Oh, yeah.
It didn't happen.
Sorry, I don't want to go on another long diatribe, but like, fearing your parents is toxic as shit. Okay? You should not fear your parents. And if you want your children to fear you, what the is wrong with you? I don't want my kids to fear me. I want them to be able to I want them to be comforted by my presence. I want them to know that they are safe around me. And if they fear me, then they're not safe around me. Your children should not fear you. That's freak shit. Actual freak shit.
Back then, because of course, you'll get your ass beat.
Disgusting.
With mom complaining about the secretary?
Yeah, now, to be fair, some mixed messages because dinner etiquette does have a wide range.
The fuck was that?
The impact.
Are they like 4 years old? Like, that was not that funny?
Do you have any idea how painful a grapefruit in the eye?
Might as well have been Mo Howard.
Yeah, he squeezed it on the way in.
Mo Howard makes the same face.
Yeah, he freshened it up for her on the way in.
And the best part of it is he walks off. You know he's not going to get a napkin. He's not going to help at all. Does it burn? I hope so.
I hope he improv that.
Make me deliver my line 3
pain.
times. I'll show you.
I hope
Pain and
See when you
abuse.
complain to the union.
Oh,
I
funny.
don't know what happened.
It's
he must
funny.
Have been cross with me. I was simply saying my lines in rehearsal, and next thing I know, I have a grapefruit in my cornea.
like Pacino slapping about the abortion. That was a real.
Who are these guys? I don't fuck. Like, why do we cut to them? Like, I just. Like, who cares about these two people? Why are they here? I don't like them. They're what is the word? It's there's a phrase for it. Hold on, there's a meme phrase, and I can't think of it. It's smug. Their smug aura mocks me, is what I'm thinking of.
Real crack in the face. She had no idea that was coming.
Let's compare that to how arguments are handled today by modern women.
Sorry.
True.
True.
Well, that's true if you're willing to face down death.
You see the guy in the front there?
What?
When they started the My Body?
Wait, if you're willing to face down death, I mean, death of the fetus, technically, yeah, sure. But, like, you're also facing down death when you're pregnant, right? Like, you're far more likely to die of pregnancy than you are of abortion. Like, I'm sure there have been botched abortions where people die, sure. But, like, pregnancy is far more dangerous. Far, far, far more dangerous in that capacity.
He stopped himself.
I know, he looked around.
Yeah, he wasn't involved in the chant because it wasn't his body.
Guys, is this okay if I yell too?
Can I? Yeah.
Well, people are acting out. There's this, and you can comment where you end up, like as though it's this new gimmick. Like, no, this is very, very new. The idea that what you just saw wasn't the norm. And I mean, maybe it was cleaning up a teepee. Maybe it was cleaning up a cave. At one point, maybe it would be cleaning up some kind of an old Victorian. I have no idea. I don't know.
That's not how it worked, man. Like, I'm sorry. I'm not a history buff, but my understanding of, like, primitive societies is that, like, there was a generally, like, equal workload. Like, they just kind of did their thing. You know, like, what needed to be done, somebody did it. That's my understanding. Feel free to correct me, historians, but, like I know that at some point, very early on, gender took over and it rolled on from there. But, like, at the earliest points of society, I don't think it mattered that much.
Enough about houses. I'm not an architect.
A split ranch.
There you go. It's a mid-century sea ranch. That's all about. But the point, like, that was the norm. And then think about this. For the first time, really, after, let's say the 1950s.
Also, like, let's say that was the norm. Okay. Why does it have to be the norm now? Who cares? Like, let people, like, what if the man wants to be a stay-at-home husband? You know, like, listen, for all the moaning and bitching that I do about my parents and, like, their conservative Christian ways and whatever, my family was actually a little bit unique in the fact that my mom mostly worked and my dad was mostly stay-at-home. You know? So, like, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I remember my dad being home much more often than my mom was. And, like, my dad is still, like, a staunch conservative. Like, it's like, even within conservative, like, it's just funny because even within conservative ideology, there are so many contradictions. It's the traditional ideology that, like, the man works, the woman stays at home and cooks and cleans and takes care of the kids. But again, my dad was the one doing that. So, like, I don't know. Like, it's just interesting. It's interesting to think about.
50s and 1960s, you weren't getting your circle of influence from your family and your friends where you could keep each other in check, where someone might get out of line. You might have a bad apple. Now you had access, millions of people, to the bad apple, which was the media, which leaned far left, telling people to break down and erode their institutions, their culture.
Yeah, the media leans far left. I remember them talking about how based communism was on CNN. That was a great segment that they did. That definitely exists.
Norms, their social mores. And so that's the first time you had an entire generation of people going, yeah, maybe we shouldn't do these. And guess what? Today, people are more miserable than ever. Fewer people are getting married than ever. It's not working. So, as offensive as that may...
Dog, when was this uploaded? This was uploaded 2 weeks ago. Donald Trump is your president, brother. Like, like, that's your guy. That's your guy. Like, if people are more miserable than ever still... Like, I'm not saying he can necessarily fix everything in 3 months' time or 4 months' time, but, like, he's certainly not made things better. Like, people are worse off than they were before he took presidency. It's only been, like, 4 months. Like, you can call this woke liberal ideology or whatever, far left, woke, communist, liberal, because that all means the same thing, I guess. Like, but it's not. It's, like, it's simply not. Like, this is all because of capitalism and fascism.
They seem, I suppose.
And liberalism.
And I, by the way, have always been, as you know, Gerald, very consistent on the issue of feminism.
I don't think that's actually true.
I've always been I've been very consistent anti-feminist.
Tim,
what do you mean?
Roll the tape, Tim.
And I've always said this, my favorite band, you know.
What is this outfit? Yo, what is this outfit, bro? That is a crazy fit with the Where's Waldo drip over here. Holy shit. Jesus Christ. It doesn't even look clean, brother. Like, what? There's these dirt spots. Like, maybe it's the lighting, but, like, it doesn't look clean, right? That's crazy. And then, okay, wait, are they wearing, they're wearing costumes. Maybe this is a costume. Okay. This isn't drip. This is a costume. Okay, my bad. Because this guy's clearly wearing a costume as well. Fair enough. My apologies to Mr. Crowder.
Evanescence, yeah. Because they have a female singer. And a lot of bands out there, they're afraid of the power that comes from a strong, independent...
Still less embarrassing than the gun straps.
A unique female voice. Not Evanescence, though. They embrace the femininity. They embrace the power. I think it's brave. And watch, this is 2000.
Okay, yeah, the spots that I thought were dirty were actually shadows. My apologies again to Mr. Crowder for accusing him of bad hygiene.
2006,
I would never do that.
By 2016, we'll say this is the era of the woman.
It's courageous.
Rightfully so.
Yep.
Well, out of context.
I think there was plenty of context there.
I don't know.
You need to explain your wardrobe.
Yeah, well, I could say the same. I would say the same.
That was the fashion of the day.
Same for me.
Whatever.
You know what? Let's just call this mutually assured destruction and move on, okay?
Okay.
All right, this is a standoff. What do TikTok nurses,
See, I wasn't the only one that pointed out the fit. See? But I do think it was like a Halloween thing. Anyway, yeah, that was Steven Crowder for you. If you want relationship advice, don't get it from that guy. He is a known wife abuser and just kind of a shitty person. You know? I don't like him. Gives me bad vibes.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please be sure to hit the like button, subscribe if you want to see more, hit the notification bell to be notified when I upload. If you enjoy my content, you enjoy what I do, I really appreciate any financial help that I can get. Go to youtube.com/AlecGunterTTV/join. You got some awesome benefits, such as seeing early videos, awesome emotes that you can use in the comments of YouTube videos, and a sweet badge next to your name. So if that sounds interesting to you, I'd really appreciate if you join. It is cheaper than the cost of a blowjob from your mom. So with all that being said, thank you again for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.